Hi guys, what are we gonna do today? Today I wanted to do something springy. I am ready for warm weather. So I thought we're gonna do this fun little seed journal. It's just a miniature book and we're gonna learn a few concepts on making some fun pages and binding a mini book. Let's get started. So the first thing you're gonna need is 8 sheets of paper, and these are 8.5 by 11 sheets, and I also am using double-sided paper so that when I fold it, I have an interesting image on both sides. And it's regular weight paper, like you would run through your printer. So what we're gonna do first is cut vertically down our paper, and your paper now will be 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and you'll have 16 sheets by the time you are done cutting all 8 sheets. So when you have all your sheets cut, the first thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna fold up your pocket. So if you have a scoreboard, or you can just mark it with a ruler and then just fold it. I am scoring at 2 5/8, and I'm going to score all these sheets at that spot. And then you are going to fold up on your score line, and this is your pocket for your page. And do this to all 8 sheets. So after you've finished scoring all 8 of your sheets, you're going to have the starting point for your book. What we're going to do is start folding our pages. With the pocket on the inside, I am folding this first sheet in half. And making sure that you're pretty close to your guidelines is important to make your book symmetrical and not off. So I folded that in half, and then I'm taking each end and folding it into the middle. Now I'm folding it back, and you can see. So let's do this to all sheets. Bring it back. So after you have all 16 of your pages, we are going to be gluing them together. You could use a heavy double stick tape or a glue stick. And for this, I found just a nice heavy glue stick worked really, really well on this, but you could use your double stick tape. The first thing I did is at all the pocket edges, I'm doing a very thin line of glue stick because I still want to be able to use the pocket. So I'm gonna glue that there. Open this up and grab the edge of that and glue this here. So do all 16 sheets in the same way. And then what we're gonna do is our 2 ends, we are going to glue together. And you wanna make sure your packets are facing the same way. So I'll glue the back of one side, then carefully line it up and look at both sides to make sure they're lined up. On this side it's lined up, and on this side it's lined up. So you will do this until you've gotten all your sheets done and glued together. So this is what you're gonna end up with when you are done with all 16 sheets. So what we're gonna do next is I'm gonna use a little bit of a fabric binding in here. So I took a piece of a heavier fabric. This is just like a piece of linen, but you could use a piece of canvas or cotton or anything you would like. And this is 1 3/4 by 2 5/8. I'm going to cut this piece. What I am gonna use is a heavier glue. I'm going to put it on the binding. I am going to put this down, and then I'm gonna lightly just wrap it over the edges. I'm using Type Bond Quick and Thick, but you really can use any type of a glue you'd like. I'd like it to be a little bit thicker, and since this is all fold lines, you don't have to worry about glue going into your pages. Now you can see the bottom is gonna be a lot wider than the top, so I'm just kind of holding it so they're kind of lined up the same. I will have a teeny tiny bit of an excess over the edges. And this does dry fairly quickly. Let me just add a little bit of glue to the edges here. That one edge is a little wider because of the pockets. I'm just gonna fold this over. And this dries so quickly that actually I can just hold this for a moment and it will set. Just hold it for a moment and let this set, and then we will move on. So for the cover, I'm using a lightweight chipboard, and I have cut this to 2 7/8. It's 2 7/8 inches wide by 7 inches long. And what I'm gonna do is score at 2 7/8 right here and 4 1/8 right here. So this will be the binding where my fabric is now, and this is the front and back cover. So now we are going to decorate our cover. So I decided I was going to use this print on my cover. And you want to make sure, since this is such a small book, you probably want a smaller print. You're really not even going to notice what you've got. This is just a decoupage paper, so it's easy to see through. And I think I wanted to use some of this on my front cover. I just turned it over and I can still see through it. So I lined my book up so I knew what was going to be on there. And just with the light pencil mark, I went around this, and then I added this extra piece that's gonna fold over into the inside, and this piece here. And now I'm gonna cut it out just a little bit bigger, and it'll be easier to manage. So I'm just gonna line this up on here. I think I like that. Okay, I am just going to use my glue stick. And so what I'm gonna start with is the front of the book. And you could use a Mod Podge, any sort of decoupage medium. This is so lightweight, and this is just chipboard that I know this heavy duty glue stick will work just fine on this. Now when you do this, you want to try to bend your book to make sure it's going to not rip your paper. The score lines are. You haven't made it so tight. Next is glue this and this edge down. And you really could cut this excess off. Once again, I am going to glue on the inside here, up to this line. We have a nice finish on the front. Line that up before I glue it. Make sure I'm not overlapping. There we go. I could just glue the edges down a little bit if you want to, or you can trim them off. It won't matter because they're going to be covered. So this is what we have so far. And what we are going to do next is glue our front and back pages to the inside of the book. You want to make sure, of course, your book is facing the correct way, with your pockets the correct way. And I am going to use my heavier glue for this. So when you're gluing your back page, you want to fold your book up to make sure everything is fitting in there nicely, because you may have to adjust either your front or your back page a little bit. And then we're just going to let the front and the back set nice and tightly before we move on. So it'd probably be easier to add any of your extra embellishments before the book's put together. It just came to me that I would love to use this transfer on here. So you just carefully open your book and add whatever other little fun pieces. Let's see. Adds a little fun to this. Here's a little fun metal book plate that I have, and I thought this would be so cute added to the front. Then I could add a little tab in there. Let's just glue this little guy down. So I just took a little piece of aged paper and I typed the word seeds on here, and I think I'm gonna make this my seed journal. So I'm just gonna cut this to fit in there. How cute. Look how fun this turned out. And I could put all my little, with some coin envelopes, I could just put all of my little seeds and information about everything I am planting in here. So I hope you guys thought this was easy. Now, you can see after you've learned the few basic concepts, you could make this bigger, you could make this smaller, you could make it to hold whatever you would like. I hope you give this a try. I'd love to see some photos, and thanks for watching.